So you ever see a movie and you're like, this probably should have had a different title? That's how I feel about Wolfman. Um, Wolfman is pretty much Wolfman in name only. So let's talk about this little bit of a dud. So Wolfman is a new adaptation of course, the classic Wolfman tale. And I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. And I didn't necessarily like it. I'm somewhere in between. I liked it and I didn't like it, and I'm not sure where I stand on it. But yeah, Wolfman follows a father, his wife, and his young daughter. He basically gets news that his father is officially legally claimed dead because he's been missing for years. And he's like, let's go to my old childhood home and let's have like a little vacation because it's super nice over there in Oregon. So they go, and when they're on their way there, they get into a car accident because something was standing in the middle of the road. And during the escape, he gets scratched, and they basically hold up in his childhood home as he begins to transform. So it's like there's a wolfman outside and there's a wolfman slowly becoming one on the inside, which I thought that was pretty cool. It's like you have two threats, the inside threat and the outside threat, but the film doesn't really do much with it. So let's get into what I do like. Of course, practical effects. Whenever a horror film slaps on some practical effects, I'm all for it. Good stuff. My favorite aspect of this movie was the visual and the sound design. The sound design and the visuals are impeccable. They are fantastic. Especially, this is in the trailer, so it's not a spoiler. There's multiple scenes throughout the movie where you hear and see what the main character is seeing and hearing. So you see how he views the world slowly becoming this wolfman. You hear how he hears slowly becoming this wolfman. And it's super clever, it's super interesting. Those scenes are the best scenes in the entire movie. I dislike this and I like it, so I'm gonna cover it right now. This changes the lore. This is very much an infection and not like a supernatural curse. The full moon has nothing to do with it and all that stuff. This is very much like an infection that makes you turn into like this Wolfman-esque being. And because of that, there's a hefty amount of body horror. Like there's skin peeling, teeth falling out, stuff like that. Face morphing. I'm all for body horror. I like that aspect a lot. Now, what I didn't like, the themes in this are so blatant. They're so shoved in your face. It's ridiculous. And during the first like 10 minutes, I went, okay, this is going to be the theme of the entire movie, and it's going to be blatant throughout. And it was. They needed to cut back on how blatant everything was when it comes to the characters. Second, because it's so blatant, the dialogue is really weird. And it's really off-putting because the dad's like, I don't want to grow up to be like my father because his father was a really strict parent and he had an army dad. And like, he keeps saying that throughout the movie, and it's like, we've never seen him be a bad dad. So like, why would he be so like headstrong on thinking like, I'm gonna be a bad parent when it's like there's no evidence. Everything, all the themes in this movie are told, not shown, and it sucks. It kind of impacts it, and it's too long. This does not have to be an hour and 45. There's a lot of scenes, mainly in like the first half hour, that didn't need to be there. They had nothing. They could have just boom, cut them all out, and just jump right into it. Second, it's not scary. Like there's jump scares, but none of them work. And the best scare in the movie is literally in the trailer. So it's like you kind of spoiled yourselves. And like I said, my main gripe it shouldn't have been called Wolfman. Because when you go see a Wolfman movie, you're expecting a werewolf. That's why the 2010 movie is so good. Like, a lot of people didn't like it at the time, but it's recently getting a lot of credit, so kudos. Because you get a werewolf. You get full moon transformations of furry, hairy beast that rips through people. That's what people want. People don't want this, like, infection, human rabies type thing. And there's more to it than that, but I'm going to just let you save for the movie and not spoil it. And this needed a lot more body horror. Because Leigh Whannell, the director, kept saying, like, The Fly by Cronenberg is one of his biggest inspirations. I worship that movie. It's fantastic. It's a great body horror movie. It's a great love story. And it's just an overall fantastic film. Damn near masterpiece. But this doesn't have any of that. It doesn't have the strong love story. It doesn't have the romance. I don't care for these characters. And this doesn't have the body horror like The Fly does. It doesn't need it. No one does body horror like David Cronenberg. Period. His son, maybe. But, period, no one does it like him. And when I saw that, I was like, oh, this is going to be a very cool, like, werewolf design. Because it's going to be, like, all torn up and, like, body horror-y and, like, look like flesh pieces are falling. Something along those lines to make you go, ew, that's gross. And nothing. It never happens. The design in this is so bland and basic. To be inspired by The Fly and pump out this is kind of disappointing. Because if you've seen The Fly, that film is gross. The transformation is gross. The final look is gross. And this doesn't have any of that grossness to it. And it's really disappointing to see it after hearing this is inspired by The Fly. So, yeah, that's a lot of rambling. But Wolfman didn't do it for me. And I wish it did. But it's, like I said, it's not bad. Just go in not expecting a werewolf movie, and you'll probably enjoy it a lot more than I did. So, like always, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Keep being good people.